I broke my femur in a couple places, and I broke my tib and fib in a couple more places, but it took a primonial. So I've decided to embark on a different journey that I thought I would never ever even consider doing, and it's becoming an Ironman. And that is a 1.2 mile swim, a 56-mile bike ride, and then a 13.1 mile run. And it's a half Ironman, but still, the distance alone is a little intimidating, especially since I've never done one before. And this video series is about racing, but it's also about overcoming and surpassing limitations, both physically and mentally. Because I have a lot of lingering injuries that are going to prevent me from performing at an elite level. And it's one of the reasons why I stopped trying to chase racing dirt bikes anymore. And over the years, I have found out more about myself by reaching inside and going, you know what did I really love about racing bikes? Well, not only was it racing and the adrenaline, but it was the meditation that came when I was on a dirt bike. And I don't need that anymore. I need the meditation, but I don't need the risk that's involved with racing motorcycles anymore. And so I needed to find something different. And lately I've been falling in love with running, even though it's incredibly difficult for me because I have a limp with some other stuff. But I want to make this very clear that I am not going to set the world on fire. And that is not the point. Not the point 100%. It's more about finishing and just being able to say, I accomplished something. Because movement is essential to stay healthy. And for a while there, I was down on myself. I was down on everything. I thought that I would never be able to walk normal again. And so I kind of gave up a little bit. And now I'm excited. I've got a new reason, because I need a reason to train. Because when you just go out to the gym and you have no goals, it becomes nihilistic. There's really no point doing it. And right now, I'm excited to say that, like, running and the idea of doing this is giving me that runner's high, that meditation that motorcycles used to give me. Well, let me just tell you a little bit about what my goals are for this year. Not only do I want to complete the half Ironman, I want to complete it in under 6 hours. And so I need to do the mile, a little over a mile swim with 3 minutes per 100 meters, which is incredibly slow, but with some of my injuries, it's going to be difficult to do. I've got an axillary nerve injury on my left shoulder where I've got no muscle whatsoever. It's just bone. I also have a plate in there, and I've got 9 surgical screws that make it kind of difficult. My range of motion sucks. I can't move my arm in a certain way without dislocating it, so I've got to, I just don't have that range of motion. And so I've teamed up with Coach Rob Beams, and he's gonna help me with my form. And I'm excited because I've never had a coach to be able to lean on to say, hey, you're pushing too hard. You need to take some time off. Hey, let's worry about this. But my right shoulder, I've got a grade 3 separation from a crash. I need to have surgery on it so it clicks and does all sorts of stuff. But that's not the thing that's going to inhibit me the worst. I know the swim is going to be hard and slow, but it's my feet go numb when I run. And why is that? Well, I quit racing because I broke my femur in a couple places, and I broke my tib and fib in a couple more places, but it took a primonial nerve with it, which created foot drop, where it's incredibly difficult for me to lift my foot up, and you kind of need to be able to lift your foot up as you run. So I have a limp. I have to lift my leg, my knee a little bit higher than it should be, and I always land on my toes, which is kind of a good deal because you're supposed to run on your toes. But it's really awkward for me, and my right foot is completely numb. So whenever I get blisters or anything like that, I don't feel them. That in turn makes my left foot numb, when I run anything over a couple miles, because it's doing a lot of the work, it's holding all the impact, because I can at least feel that. And what I've found as a solution is wearing minimalistic shoes that have like no support, and it has helped me with a little bit of my form, not having the cushion, and it has ironically made it to where my good leg doesn't go numb anymore. So I've been reading a lot on different training aspects, and again, Coach Rob with Complete Racing Solutions is helping me with this as well, where you have different zones for training, and most Ironman athletes stay in zone 2 for the duration of an entire triathlon, and for a half Ironman you're probably going to be around zone 3 as far as your heart rate, and then for like a 5K you're going to be in zone 5. For a 10K you're probably going to be in that zone 4, which is complete threshold. And I've been working up to doing a full marathon since I've been injured, where before I had a mile record of a 4:44, and just a few weeks ago I was able to do a 5:38, which is phenomenal for someone like myself with some of the lingering injuries that I have. And this isn't to brag or do anything. This is, again, I need to know my own limitations so that I can surpass them. Because a true measure of success is not comparing yourself to others, but comparing yourself to your past. And so I've got a pre-injury Johnny, and then I've got a post-injury Johnny, and I'm trying to get back there. And that's why this is important for me, just to be able to push through and finish. That's all I really want to do, is finish. And my goals for myself are, I want to run a marathon in 3 hours and 30 minutes, which is an 8-minute mile pace for 26.2 miles. And I want to win an open Spartan race. As silly as those obstacle races are, I think it's something that I can. I've done 2 so far, and I really have found a passion for it, and I enjoy it. And I finished 29th in one and 16th in the other. So I think I can land on the podium on some of those. But when it comes to the Ironman distance, it is just a completion for myself, because zone 2 for me is damn near walking at this point. My aerobic engine needs to increase a lot, and I want to show you guys via a video blog series of the progression, because my pace staying in zone 2 is around 11 minutes a mile, which is slow. But the heart rate is zone 3. I can do like an 8:40 minute mile on the Maffetone test, because I've done 2 months worth of Maffetone training, and the first month I was fairly okay. I was doing 8:40s and ended up at 9:10 on a mile 5 scale, because the Maffetone test, you do a little warm up, then you run 5 miles and you take your average heart rate, and it shouldn't be above zone 3. You shouldn't ever get into zone 4 with that threshold. So you're teaching your body to be able to use fat as fuel at a low heart rate to make just a better anaerobic system. And some of the elite athletes, they can literally do 5 minutes and 45-second miles at zone 2, zone 3, which is ridiculous, because I'm way off the pace. Because my last test, I was right around the 8:20 to 8:40 minute mark, which is about maybe a 15 to 20 second improvement since the previous Maffetone test. But my goal before October with this Ironman is to get that down to a 7:30, a 7-minute pace. And right now I need to find some equipment for my bicycle, because I'll show you some of the equipment that I'm using. I've got a 955 Garmin watch, which has been a lifesaver for stuff. I use the Garmin heart rate strap, which has been huge. This is the pool behind me that I'm going to swim, and Complete Racing Solutions is telling me I should just strap a little cord to one of these palm trees to keep me in the middle of the pool, and I can focus on my technique. I might actually have to get an Olympic pool to go do some stuff, but I'm not the best swimmer, and so I'm going to be spending a lot of time in here. And my road bike, I need to get a triathlon bike, which has a smaller tube, because I guess apparently the triathlon bikes put less pressure on your legs than a typical road bike, so that you're ready for a run afterwards. And my goal is to stay around zone 2-ish, low end of zone 3 during the bike, because the bike is going to take a little while. And with that Ironman distance, I do have a personal goal of about 6 hours, which means I need to swim the mile at a 3 minute per 100 meter pace, which is incredibly slow. On the bike, I think I can do the 56 miles with an average mile per hour of 18 miles an hour, which is also incredibly slow. And then a run of 9 minutes a mile, which is going to get me across the finish line in like 6:05 or so. I think I can accomplish that. Maybe not today, but a couple months from now. But I definitely would like to surpass that. And I know some of my friends, there's another ex-pro rider that was always faster than me. His name is Cody Williams. I think he did his half Ironman in like 4 hours and 20 minutes. So hats off to that SOB, because he's fast as hell. But more than anything, I just wanted to share with you guys what my goal is and where I want to head for 2023. And the truth is just staying stagnant doesn't help anybody. You got to always push forward. So at the end, I'll show you a little bit of my road bike, and I need to get a smart trainer too, so that I can help maybe get on board with Jeff Walker and get on his Zwift thing, have him kick my ass for the training for some of the nationals. I think that would be fun, cycle with him virtually a little bit. But I'm excited. I'm excited about effing doing this. WFO, guys. WFO. We're up! So this guy almost needs to be retired. It is a Cadillac, which is crazy. But I've got some really old Ultegra sets on it, which are not the best. Not the best. And my trainer pretty much sucks. So this bike is not a fast bike. So I need a tri-bike because I'm getting older, and you just love having new shit, right? New stuff that is important, that's shiny, because it's my ego, I guess. You want to have like good looking stuff. Make sure you leave a comment down below if you have any suggestions on this series, because we're just out there to push through your own limits. And that's all I'm going to do. And I appreciate every single one of you that has stuck by me throughout this journey of racing and retirement and everything. So, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And everyone that is subscribed to the channel, I owe you guys a lot.